I'm interested in how y'all know each other actually, because I did not choose you all because I did not know that you knew.
So
each
I
other.
thought it was like a surprise thing. I thought you were trying to surprise
Right. I
us.
said, you don't
Because
bring
like
no hair.
when I saw you drop the flyer and then I saw Shay on it, I was like, yo,
I was like, we gonna
that
have a
is
time.
dope.
Y'all both reacted the same way.
So
we
here,
have a
so
good time.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was trying to make my entry into the Richmond rap scene, and I had been like, I'm from the 7-5.
Okay.
She from the 7-5.
No, I'm from 804.
Sorry, she was in the 7-5 at the time. Sorry,
Yeah.
excuse me. She was in the 7-5
ODU.
at the time. And so I was recording my music with Hayes and Biggs, and they were recording her as well. And like one day Biggs had like put it on me, and I was like, yo, this voice is dope. I was like, yo, you gotta like put me. He's like, yo, just hit her up on Instagram. Send me an Instagram. I hit her up, and like the rest is history.
I was like, hey. And then I used to crash at his house. I used to work part-time Best Buy. And then I worked at a radio station. Shout out to 106.5, The Beat.
Bonnet and all.
Yeah, I had a bonnet. I used to bring like, look, Brent, I need to crash at your crib, or I have to like go to the job, and I got a part-time over here. We would make music. I would come there. All right, Brent, what you doing? I'm chilling. Okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm on the way.
And I really was just chilling, by the way.
Yeah. And then maybe
I wasn't gonna do any music, and then
we were gonna do music. Yeah. A lot of my best work has happened with Brent.
I see y'all have such great chemistry together.
Yeah,
that's my bro.
Yeah,
2018.
I love it.
2018.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit.
So
Brent's on the show.
I thought it was intentional,
Yeah, me too. I was like, I didn't know. I
was
was like,
like,
well,
oh.
shit.
but it wasn't,
dope.
which makes it
You'll
even
get
more fire. Which
of
makes like it being like Psych 101 makes so much sense.
So much sense.
Yeah,
So much
yeah.
sense. And I'll say it was intentional in the sense that I had written down a list of the guests that I wanted, and I paired who I wanted together. But the reason why I paired you is because in both of your lanes, I feel like you're doing your thing, like with your artistry individually and then hosting things. And I feel like that takes so much to do both of those.
Yeah.
So I just respect it. So I thought you would be complimentary. And
Yeah, it was-
turns out you are.
I mean, yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
this
dog.
is-
That's
yeah.
my dog.
Yeah.
I
It's
appreciate
what, like 6 years now.
Ooh,
That's what's up.
a little teary-eyed because of the whiskey. That's my dog. Yeah, he seen me come up on a lot, like with radio, Best Buy, bonnets, writing, frustrated, like I can't get the music out. He's just like, yo, just do this, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
bet.
but everything you said you were gonna do, you did. And so that's like the real power of like manifestation.
Yeah. Oh.
Everything except dropping an EP.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
I like how he just slid that.
He
in
just slid
there.
it
It's
right.
like
Just
everything
saying.
but. Yeah. No.
I got the music if y'all want it. It's on a hard.
Just drop it. At this
it's
point,
on a hard drive somewhere.
just drop it. Just release it. I'm cool with it. Just do.
I
just,
think it needs to happen.
Oh man.
No, your voice is absolutely beautiful.
I thank you.
Absolutely
I thank you,
beautiful.
man.
Yes.
It's God given.
Yes.
Thank you. Brent got a voice too. You didn't hear him sing?
I've heard. Yes.
Yeah, he be
Y'all
singing over there.
I'm
harmonize
not a
together.
singer.
You're not a singer?
Rappers always want to say that
Right.
when they can
And be
sing as well.
creating the
they always
fire,
wanna,
the
like-
most fire hooks.
I'm not
Yeah,
a singer
right?
until I can drop an R&B album.
It's coming. Wait,
So-
watch. It's
Maybe
it's gonna be
together,
there.
yeah.
Oh no, that's a goal.
Oh,
that's
if
a goal.
if I do an R&B album, she's definitely gonna be on
All
it.
right. Yeah, got to. All right. Well, we can go ahead get started for tonight. So,
Okay.
one of the things that I start the show with is an opening line from the song that I feel pertains to the topic. So, Sebastian, my lovely assistant DJ, helped me with the song for tonight.
Thanks,
So-
Sebastian.
Yes, thank you, Sebastian. So the lyrics just repeat, but I feel like when things repeat, it's because it's emphasis and because it's meaningful. So, of course, you'll recognize. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
No such thing, no such
Cold.
thing.
Come on, Brent.
Cold. He ain't a singer though.
Nah.
He ain't singing. Okay.
Right,
Okay. Okay.
Right. So the reason why I thought that song was appropriate for tonight is because I feel like a lot of times in this society that we live in today with, social media and different pressures and things, there's a lot of comparison, which leads to self-doubt, which leads to imposter syndrome, which is
Yeah.
one of the main topics I wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
But really, if we're in tune with ourselves and our purpose, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. So I wanted to talk a little bit about you guys' journey to where you are today. Again, as artists, as hosts, I feel like both of those roles take a bit of vulnerability.
Yeah.
You're sharing your art with the world, and you're also sharing like your personality as well.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit, both of you guys, about your journey to where you are today and how you kind of got to a space of confidence.
You first, Brent.
All right. Well, as far as music goes, I've been doing music since I was 14 years old. Had a group back when I was younger called STR, Supreme Team Records. It was stupid. You know, you had all these crazy names growing up. But yeah, my boy came back. He was on vacation with his family, and they had freestyled a whole album. They're like, yo, we go do the same thing. And that's how I really got into music. But it wasn't until probably 2018 when I dropped 8-1 Dreamin', and that's when I met Shay, when I really started taking the music seriously and dropping projects and really networking. So I would say from 2018 to now, I've really focused on music more in a serious manner than I usually would have. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like
And you're
that.
putting yourself, in the space of well-respected peers, and
Yeah.
and the things that you're doing.
appreciate
So
that.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
it's really dope to see just
Yeah.
your growth and just that. But I feel like that takes a certain amount of
Yeah.
confidence of I know I can do this, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
Big B.
it's-
Big B.
I've always been the outspoken one in the family, the outgoing one. So putting me in front of a mic never really scared me. Even though I still get the butterflies every time I perform, at that little nervous moment until the music drop, I still get that. I don't know if you still get that or not.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
All the
so,
time. But I
yeah.
like it. For me, I've been doing music since 2016 in college, and of course I met Brent 2018, and I was always the outspoken one, always the one to drop music, and I was a writer for people, and oh yeah, just do that, just write it out. But I never really did my own thing until 2016, 2018 when I met Brent. Brent really pushed me to actually perform and actually sing the songs in front of people that I wrote myself for myself. And it was pretty dope, and I think that's why I give a lot of love to him on a lot of
Yeah.
things that I do. Anytime I do music, I think of Brent, because it's I wouldn't be doing this if he didn't push me, or if I wasn't at his crib. So thank you. Always love to
I
you.
appreciate you. You know that. You know
But it's
that.
super dope. And then being a host, I've always outside of the show aspect, I've always been the comical one, the host of the party, the fun of the party. So it's let me just turn this into a thing. Let somebody do what I thought I couldn't do, and just bring it to a platform. And now we're here.
Yeah, that's really dope. That's so interesting to hear that you were writing for other people first and not for yourself. Because I'm to think that you would not share your voice when it's so.
I didn't know I
beautiful.
had one till I met Brent. I was just I genuinely didn't think that I would be dropping music or doing things for myself. I'm I'm just a writer. I just do this, and it sounds great, but you might sound better doing it, But I started singing.
Don't let her listen. Don't let her lie to you. So she would record a song, it'd be fire, and be like, maybe we should get this to so and so. I'm like, nah. She got so much music that people haven't heard that when it finally gets recorded again and it releases, y'all gonna be like, there's no way this was written in 2018, because even today, if that music was played right now, it's timeless.
I was just thinking the
yeah.
word timeless.
It's
Same
it's
page,
it's great music, and it's
That's my dog.
yeah.
That's my dog, right?
I got it all. If anybody want it, I keep saying
Please.
that, but I mean
I
it.
want it.
Please release it.
I got
Everybody
all.
want it.
'Cause I ain't gonna be releasing it. He gonna have to release it. He gonna have to drive it.
All right, Brent, you know what you must do.
If y'all need it, I got it.
Yes.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
Absolutely. So, as you talk about that and your hesitation to release your music, I want to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. So, I looked up the definition, and it says imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally despite being high performing in external objective ways. This condition often results in people feeling like a fraud or a phony and doubting their abilities.
Every day.
Every day. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I don't like to put myself on a pedestal. I don't like to say I got a fan base. I don't like to say I have a following. I just like to do what I do and have fun. But I know what comes with it when I do the open mics. And shout out to Open All That Soul. Open mic, very prominent in Richmond. But it took me a long time to say that because, like, I'm not used to, like, people looking up to me or being a fan or just, like, being, like, in tune to what I do. I just like to have fun. So, like, when they do, like, oh, my God, Shay, this was such a dope show. And I'm just like, you're lying. I could have done better, and I know you're lying. And I don't believe you.
Their own worst critic.
Okay, and it's just, like, super hard because, like, people really do come out to my shows, and people really do support. And it's just, like, I thank you so much to everybody that does, but it's, like, for me, I still don't believe it just because I'm just doing it. And, like, I don't feel much as a fraud, but I feel like it's not as successful as it could be, or I'm just literally just doing it, and I don't know what you see. I don't know why you look up to me. I don't know. So it's like, so when people be like, oh my, I just be like, it's okay, just come to the next one. We gonna have a fun time.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny to like to feel that way, even after you hear like people say, yo, I came to your show. That was super dope.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I had a great time. Can't wait to come to the next one. And the whole time I'm just here replaying everything that I did wrong. Right? Like, I couldn't even like bask in the moment that I was in.
Yeah.
Like, people are telling me they had a great time at the show. People are telling me they enjoyed it. And I'm just thinking about every little thing that I did wrong.
Which only you know, by the way.
Yeah. And like, so
And it don't be nothing wrong.
Nothing, yeah.
And when I start telling it to people, like, yo, I can't believe I did, like, oh, I didn't even notice it. But I guess like when it comes to art, and like we all are a part of art, we all make art. It's like our most vulnerable state. You know, like you're putting your work out to the world for people to hear and people to react to. And when you don't deliver it in the way that you expect to, sometimes you start to feel that self-doubt. And, you know, like, nobody in this world is going to say they never felt insecure, especially when they're putting themselves in a vulnerable space. So
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of the, when you see people who have the, like, imposter syndrome or those who, like, feel that extra anxiety in those moments, it's because, like, yo, we're really putting ourselves out there for, like, for people to hear and like for people to judge us. So that's always you're always gonna be in the back of your mind. Did they like it? Did they love it?
Yeah, man.
Could I have done this differently?
Social
or not?
media
So,
shit hit different too.
Yeah.
Like when you're on social media and you see people that you know or been around and they're doing similar things like you, and it's like they're getting the love and the traction and everything, and your post may not do that. Like, I've had conversations that, like, it's, to me, social media is so, like, misleading. And it's like, this person is doing the same thing you're doing, and it's like, it's not that deep. Like, just do your thing. Like, post and go, share, love, do what you got to do, but, like, you can't really worry about what anybody else is doing. Because 9 times out of 10, they might not have it like you think they got it on social media. And, like, that, I had to learn that the hardest for me, because, like, I have to be on social media to get some of the stuff out that we do, right?
Yeah.
So, like, for me to post a post, right, and I know it's, like, in my mind, I know it's fire. Like, I know the song fire. And it don't get the traction that I'm expecting it to get. But here I am seeing somebody that, like, I know, it's just like, damn, like, I'm doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the tea? Like, what we doing? Right. Now we're trying to figure out what we did wrong, why we insecure, do these people fuck with me, am I good? It's just like a lot of thoughts in your mind where it's just like, I had to, like, cut that out and just post and go, do what I do, and just, like, vibe out. Like, I can't think about what anybody else is doing.
Yeah, I think social media plays a huge role in imposter syndrome because, I mean, literally, like, getting likes and getting it's feedback, it's reinforcement, and it does something. It releases something that's enjoyable and pleasurable and makes you want more and can be an addicting type of thing. Yeah. So if you're not receiving that, and especially if the content is worthy of that,
and they be worthy,
it's like. Yeah, right. I know, right?
Should be hot.
Do you see the nails?
Okay, the shit be hot. The shit be hot.
I'm like, right, it's worthy. Yeah. So when it's not receiving that reinforcement, it is confusing.
It's like an insult
Yes.
almost. It's like, ew. Like, you know, and then everybody got their own taste.
But
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
like,
it's
you don't
like,
art.
it's like, cool.
Yeah.
But
I also think people don't understand like the effort we put into making these social media posts. Like, yo, like not
The
even trying to be
captions.
funny. Yo, like this is why I hate doing lyric videos sometimes. I'm like, yo, this is about to be a hit. Yo, this is about to be a missile. It take all this time, take 30 minutes to an hour to create. Then you post it, then you just wait and you're like, wait. This ain't getting the reaction that I wanted it to
what's
get.
going on, yo? Like,
And then you see somebody that just put the phone up and took a video of them rapping, no effort whatsoever, and it's getting like 3 times the engagement that you're getting. It's like, yo, what am I doing wrong? What could I be doing differently? So,
and that sucks, man.
yeah.
It does.
It sucks.
So, okay, that leads to the next topic. Are there actual imposters, do you feel? Like, I feel like this is the day and age
yes.
where anybody can get on. Anybody can, again, with social media, make themselves appear a certain way.
Oh, all the time.
You know what I mean?
All the time.
Yeah, well, one thing about imposters are they're just that, right? Like, there's no longevity in being an imposter. So someone can ride the wave of whatever's hot. And if that's their only wave that they have, then as soon as the storm's over, it's just quiet waters for them. You know what I mean? So that's why I think like it's important to, not to keep saying this word, but to have timeless music. So when people hear it today, they'll still enjoy it tomorrow, a month down the road, 5 years, 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's something that you can't fake. You know what I mean? Like that's like genuine music that like people react to, people feel. So as far as, are there imposters? Yeah. Do they have longevity? No.
Not at all.
So.
The music hits only for a little bit. And, like, you got to think, I think when it comes to the whole imposter syndrome or, like, the social media, like, you got to think really highly of yourself. And, like, you got to just dig deep and be like, look, I'm the shit, okay? I make music. I write this. I know this song going to be fire. I'm going to play it. My people going to play it. And the people that love me are going to love me. The people who don't, who cares? Like, you really got to think like that. And when you start thinking like that, that's when everybody starts coming because you don't really care. You don't really, like, you just do it. And people will gravitate. If they don't, even the haters are going to gravitate. They're going to be there watching. They might not like you, but they're going to be there in the stories, in the posts, all that. You know what I'm saying? And as an artist and host like Brent, like, we really do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I had to think like we really, really do this shit. And it's like you got to think like that of yourself because if you don't, nobody else will.
And I also have to say this about imposters. Imposters only continue to exist because they have people telling them that what they're doing is like, yo, this is fire, this is hot. You know what I mean? Just so they can ride the wave as well. But like realistically, if more people were honest about the production that people were putting out and the quality that people are putting out, I think that people would take more time to like actually think about their art before they put it out. And like, you know, spend time with that art. You know what I mean? I know I joke a lot about like you're not putting out music, like you got a bunch of it, but I also know that like you're not gonna do something without like you wholeheartedly knowing like this is my baby.
Yeah.
The world is ready for it. You know?
I don't
And
want to
so
put on nothing, you know.
we need more people like that to just like, we need people to say, yo, this not tight, bro. Take another direction. You know what I mean? Like, and I got people like that on my team. I'll drop a record, they be like, yo, this ain't the one, B. Don't put this out.
Yeah.
And the tuck it goes.
But the honesty and like just having those people in your corner, it's only very few. Like there's a lot of people like, oh my God, they're like, I separate the friends. There's a lot of music friends. There are a lot of friends that like everything that I do, and there's a lot of friends who are critical. And I'm gonna go to the critical friends because I don't need somebody just a yes man.
Right.
Like just because you're my friend, I'm not gonna make music that you love all the time. But don't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? I need to know for sure.
Give real
So I'm gonna go to the
feedback.
critical friend that has anything and everything to say about the music, and it's like, you know what, this is actually a good song. So like I appreciate those friends, and the yes friends are like more. It varies, but you don't need yes men in your life when it comes to that, because that's how imposter syndrome is built up too. So
I put it this way. and I gotta shout him out because I'm on here. Yo, everybody needs a friend like OZ. Yo,
Yes.
because like OZ go hit you up, be like, yo, I love you, brother. First off, just like gotta get that.
Yeah,
I love
peace,
you, bro.
peace.
He's like, but yo, you should try this, or like, nah, I wasn't really feeling that. This ain't really you. You trying to, you know what I mean? And sometimes you need people like that to check you. Like, you know
Definitely.
what? That ain't really. That was me forcing it. You know, that was me trying, and I knew it in that moment, but like I couldn't own up to it because like it's like, yo, this is what's hot right now. Like we get in that, we fall into it. And then we just need people to bring us back to reality. So that's why I said, like, imposters don't have longevity because they don't have real people around telling them, like, yo, you wildin', B.
Yeah.
This is whack.
They're going to be remain on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to OZ. It's my boy.
Yes. All right, bet. The next topic is gatekeeping. So I've heard that come up in different conversations recently, and it seems like people have different definitions of it. So I want to get an understanding of what gatekeeping is to you all, first of all.
Yeah, so like gatekeeping is, it can go two different ways, right? So you have gatekeeping as a sense of like, you want to keep something for yourself and like, this is ours. So like when you talk about like cultures and gatekeeping, that's a form of it. But you also have like gatekeepers and entertainment where like, this is the golden boy. This is the person that we're gonna like put on the front line. This is the face that we want everybody to see. So there's two different types of gatekeeping, and I think that what happens is once social media gets a word like gatekeeping, they just keep using it
Yeah.
until it's dead. But I mean, I think there's certain things that should be like
Kept.
right? But I don't think that people should be kept in that regard. Like there shouldn't be like someone who like, this is our person to represent us for everything. This is the face of this. And I know like that was big because of the whole Cat Williams interview recently coming up and talking about like certain standards of like people who are in certain positions and things they have to do. But I look at it on those two different realms. There's like gatekeeping, like things that are sacred and cultural, and then there's like the entertainment gatekeeping where it's like, good boy, you're our boy, you know what I mean, you're gonna do this for us type person. So
Yeah. My form of gatekeeping, I guess, in the entertainment is, I think, in respect to all OGs that I'm cool with or whoever, I think a lot of older people who have been in the industry, they like to gatekeep the formula of how to get other people out into their level. So it's like, for me, that form of gatekeeping I just can't rock with, because whenever I come an OG, I'm sliding the formula to the people that I know who have that potential and teaching the ones that may not have the potential but try to get there. And you gatekeeping, you still here. You know what I'm saying? You can't gatekeep if you're still in the same position you were 30 years ago.
Facts.
So like, if you're not gonna move on, then what are you really, you know what I'm saying? What are you really doing? And I just feel like that form of gatekeeping is probably what's hindering a lot of like new artists and like a lot of new hosts and things like that. Like they're gatekeeping like what they had to do to get to where they are because they don't want somebody to surpass them. Shout out to Jasmine B. We had a conversation about it like previous to this, you know, conversation. Like they don't want people to surpass them. And it's just like, God forbid, we all got to go here. We all got to leave this earth somehow. So you ain't going to be the only one. And you gatekeeping doesn't do anything for anybody because we're going to figure out how to do it anyway. So a lot of OGs, a lot of older people like to gatekeep that situation, but they're still in the same spot that they were like 20, 30 years ago. And I'm now doing what I want to do with your gatekeeping and doing it better. So.
Yeah. And you know what, though? Like, I also think that, like, the generations coming up as well, like, that have to be willing though as well to like accept the info, because there's a lot of times where, you know, I'm trying to teach some of the younger heads like, yo, you got to do this, you just can't put this out, but everything is such a shortcut for this generation.
Quick,
like they want to get to it quick, they want to get the money fast, and they don't really get to enjoy the process or even understand the process because the process is important because like if it was a success, you want to find a way to duplicate it. If it was a failure, you want to find a way to not do that same thing. And so, but the generation now is just everything's quick, fast. Social media, you could put the music out quick, fast.
Yeah.
There was a time where we couldn't even perform, really. You know what I mean? Like, you had to, like, beg for places to go rap at, beg for places to, like, so that's why, like, I think now, like, Richmond is, like, booming. There's, like, you can go Monday through Sunday and do something musically. You know, and, like, that is an advantage that this generation has, but they still straight to it. They want what's quick. They want the fast. They want to get viral really quick and then hope that takes them off, but they're not really getting that process.
Yeah.
So
the other thing too, I remember coming up, it was like a younger generation of kids when they play sports, and it's like everybody just getting a gold star, right? Everybody, so it's like you're the best and you're the best and you're the best. So now I think in a lot of arenas, people genuinely think that they're the best, or they promote themselves as they're the best, and it's not with very much effort or mastery of skill or anything. So I wanted to, you touched on this a little bit about some gates needing to be kept. So I think in terms of hosting shows, for instance, right? I feel like there's a certain quality of artists and caliber of artists, but obviously there's probably artists asking all the time to be on the show. So how do you, maintain the quality of what you're trying to promote, I guess?
You tell them no. Shit.
Yeah, you
Nah,
know,
you
Tell them no.
I'm gonna let
tell
you
them
go.
no.
Sis.
Shit, I don't know. I keep it 100. Like
Yeah.
I host open mics. People hire me to host their damn baby showers and wedding receptions. And it's like when you host a show, you got to know the format of the show and what the vibe is. And for me to be a host, you got to know how to read the room. If you can't read the room, you can't host a show. And if you just gonna have anybody willy nilly on the stage, God forbid. Like all artists are great. Everybody creates, but there are people that can do a little bit better with creating. And when you're hosting a show, you just got to know what the vibe is, because some people don't want to hear that shit, you know what I'm saying? And some people do. You got to be honest with the crowd. Like, I'm here to host a show and let it be a successful show. I can't have Billy Bob up here doing whatever the fuck he want to do and it don't be a good show. You know what I mean? Like, you got to read the room. You got to be still respect to your artwork, but like, this is a specific show for this type of caliber. And you gonna get there if you need tips, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, with gatekeeping on that end, like, I can give you all the tips you need. You just not ready right now, and that's okay. I can tell you that, but I'm not discrediting your work at all. You can get here, but just not today.
Stages.
I will tell y'all this. I'm like Jesus at the gatekeeping when it comes to this. Let's just put that out there. So like, there's never been a time where someone has like inboxed me and said, I want to be on your show, that I put them on a show. And one of my things is that there's so many things that are happening in the city. Like I said, the Monday through Sunday, like if you're visible, if you're out there, I'm going to see that you have talent. Like I'm going to be reaching out to you. And I think that's the shortcut industry, right? You know, like, not being visible and just like showing up and inboxing someone because social media is there. That's not how it worked for me. Like, if you're not visible and like I can't see that you actually have a work ethic or you can actually perform, I'm not about to put you on my show.
Right.
And the reality is, there's a lot of people that have good music,
hidden gems, but we don't know because you're not doing what we can see,
and they're not pushing it. And also, there's a lot of people that got good music that just can't perform well. Like, and no slight to them, but it's like,
don't risk it.
You need that practice. You need to go to them open mics. Like, you can't just ask for a 10, 15-minute set if you ain't never been to the open mic. Like, you ain't never practiced. You ain't put in the practice hours. Practice. We talking about practice. Yeah, we talking about practice.
Divos and divas. Like, I'm hot shit, and I'm gonna come
again.
here.
Everybody, I'm the best.
Yeah,
right?
and it's just like,
and everybody wants to press fast forward.
Yeah,
and
I'm real. No, you will not perform at this show. Not today. You can perform here. These are the venues, and then when I do say no, I provide what's left in the week. Like, if you can't perform at my show today, here are the other shows throughout the week that you may be interested in. Like, it's not just a no, I don't want you to ever see you again. Like, perform there, let me see it, and then come through. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm no better or bigger than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had to start there, but like, you got to realize your talent and actually work at it. Because I'm just not going to think you hot stuff and just because you DM'd me. Hell, Obama could DM me tomorrow and I'm be like, can you sing? If you can't, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just respectfully, I respect the craft, but I got to host a show and I got to make sure it's right. And do you think?
I have like a measurement as well. And a lot of times I ask myself, if they weren't in Richmond, would they still be able to move this crowd? Right? And a lot of times it comes down to like the only reason they can move this crowd is because they're rapping amongst friends, right? Those same people that won't be honest with them. But like, could I take this person to North Carolina, Maryland, and like have them perform? The people, if they can move the crowd, then that means that you can move any crowd that you will go to. Your music has touched the spot and the people where it don't matter where you're at. And a lot of times that's why I think, like, could I see myself listen to this person outside of Richmond?
Yeah, read the room.
And that's big, artists. That is very big. Like, yo, you can't be great and dope in front of your friends. You got to be dope for people you don't know as well.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to prove that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, the final topic or question, tying things back to mental health. So understanding the impact of the pressures associated with being an artist on one's mental health. So pressures to keep up, pressures to entertain, for women, especially pressures to appear a certain way. What is some advice on ways to stay sane and fight off imposter syndrome?
Ooh, I almost lost the lock. Yo.
Got deep on that question.
Right. I'm
Got
like,
Psych 101.
hold on. Damn. It's a lot, yo. Like, just trying to maintain who I am and realize that I'm not going to sound like everybody else. I'm not going to sound like her. I'm not going to sound like him. I'm not going to do my work like I do. It's just like self-realization on that end. And it's like, for me, sometimes you may have to take a break from social media. And like, I'm real famous for a post and go. Like, I'm a post on social media and get off social media and mute it. I don't want to see the likes. I don't want to see none of that. Because if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Right. And I'm not going on social media looking up nobody's pages. Like, I just need to realize who I am, and this is fire, and I like it, and it is what it is. And that's what comes with, like, self-love first. And just realizing, like, who I am as a person, as an artist, and how much work I put into actually doing it. And not worry about anything else. Like, that's a really hard mindset to get in, because social media is very, very prominent and very, like, I have to. It's like you have to put it on social media for it to get the reach out. Because if social media was not here today, how are we getting our music out? We're going back to CDs. We're going back to, like, posting flyers. And I think that's
visible.
being visible. Like, that's the most organic way to get shows popping. But, like, social media, because it's quick and I can get it out and I know people are going to listen, Apple Music and all that stuff, I have to realize, like, self-love is the first thing. I'm beautiful. First, I'm black. I'm beautiful. I'm going to be who I am. And when I do my music, it is what it is. This is how I'm feeling. And I know the quality of music that I provide. So just knowing who you are and yourself first before anything, that's the key.
And I'll say that, like, you're running your own race. Like, so many times people try to keep up with, like, other people. Oh, they're putting out an album every 3 months or every 6 months. And you feel like you got to run your own race. Don't even be good. Like,
they're just putting out music for the content.
And quantity don't always mean quality, you know? Like, I think a lot of time, like, you might get that visibility. People might say, oh, this person has a strong work ethic. But, you're running your own race. And, like, I will also say you got to find security in the places where you feel most insecure. Like, and that's, a lot of time is in our mental. Like, that's what's causing us to be insecure, because we'll hear somebody that has a dope record and you're like, yo, do people feel the same way about my music the way I'm feeling about this song right here? And, like, you can't help to feel that way. And that's what people have to understand. Like, you're going to feel those feelings. Don't live in those feelings. Like, run your own race. Like, be comfortable with who you are and find security in those insecurities. And I think that you'll be just okay, honestly.
Yeah. Meant to be is meant to be. Yeah. I ain't no Beyonce, but I'm Beyonce.
If it's meant to
it's going to pop. You know what I'm saying? You got to just feel like that.
Sorry.
It's going to pop.
Yes. A closing quote that I had found. It says, "Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will." So just understanding the power of self-doubt and what it does to us. And I think you nailed it when you were just talking about self-love. That's really the most important piece to this. And again, tying back to the original quote, no such thing as a life that's better than yours. So thank you all.
No such thing as
Thank
a life
you.
better than
We're going to
yours.
get into some
Thank
music
you,
from
thank
you
you.
all shortly, but
Bye-bye.
thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
Thank you
us.
so much. Yeah, it's
All right.
been a joy.